Hi guys, just wanted to jump on real quick today to discuss the topic that has been all over the media lately of sexual harassment and issues that are happening in the workplace against women. My name is Princella Stringer, and I am a career and empowerment coach for single moms. My mission is to empower single moms in advancing in the workplace and getting recognized. So today's topic, the way I've twisted it a little bit, is a little more on the personal side, not so much the workplace side, because, yes, I want to talk about the issue of sexual harassment, but really that topic's kind of being talked about enough. What I want to do is to talk about, as single moms, what are we doing in the home front to raise our boys to be the men that can grow up to be powerful and strong men and respectful and loving to women in a way that they deserve to be treated. So my daughter asked me a question. She's like, what is all this in the news? All this stuff. I don't understand what is going on. So this really got me thinking. And my answer back to her was pretty simple. I said, well, honey, some men were not taught at a young age how to respect people and how, in this case, to respect women in general. And when they've achieved a certain level of success, they think that they can abuse their power and do whatever they want to do. So I think it's important as single moms that we recognize, how are we empowering our children? How are we empowering our boys to learn how to be respectful individuals to people in general? So this isn't so much a talk about how to treat girls or how to treat women, but how to respect people in general, how to speak our voice powerfully and confidently. This is so important that these teachings happen when our children are young, so that when they grow up to become thriving working adults, that they are relating and communicating with others that in a respectful way. And when they have these core values instilled in them, they can grow up to be respectful adults. So I've shared in the past my personal journey that when I had my daughter, that really led me to think differently about how I make choices in my life. Thinking back now, I feel a little uneasy that it took me having my daughter, because I did have two boys. But having her made me rethink how I wanted to portray myself as a strong, confident woman for my daughter's sake, and to be an example of how a woman can grow up and into womanhood. So now in hindsight, it's hugely valuable to be able to portray myself as a strong, confident woman to my boys. It's just as important as it is for my daughter. So that's what this topic is about today. How do we raise our boys and children to be confident in themselves, express their opinion, and value other people's opinion? I think it's huge to start considering this when they are young. And if you have more than one child at home, you can use that as a way to teach them how to respect each other's opinions, how they're valuing each other at home, living together at home. So one thing that we did that has proven to be pretty successful with raising our children is helping them recognize that it's okay to express their opinion. It's okay to share their true thoughts, but make sure that they're coming back with love and kindness. So one example I have for you is that my daughter and I were visiting a friend of mine, and some things changed in our life where we decided to homeschool two of our children. So my daughter is going to be spending a little bit of time at my friend's house because she is amazing at this homeschooling thing. She's been doing it with her children since they were little, since they first started their education. And my friend, not only does she have all this experience in homeschooling, but she's also like the ultimate homemaker, baking bread, doing gardening, bringing it all together for their family meals. So when we came by, she was practicing making sourdough bread. So after a couple tries, she felt really proud and wanted us to try it. So she gets my daughter to try the bread, and she's like anxiously saying, "What do you think?" So, and here's my daughter. She's like, "Oh, it's okay." And I could just see my friend's expression just change, and it did not make her feel very good with my daughter just being like, "Oh, it's okay." So later on, I had a conversation with my daughter. Like I said, my daughter was staying there for the day, so I called her and I said, "Honey, it's okay to express your feelings, but you need to be mindful about how the other person feels about your answer." And so I said to her, go back to her and talk to her and say, "I've just never had sourdough bread before. So I'm not used to the flavor and the texture, But with it being my first experience, it was just different. And it wasn't what I expected bread to taste like. And I explained to my daughter why it was important to go back and say this. It's important to express to who you're conveying your thoughts to that it's not an attack on them personally, right? It's just expressing our own feelings and thoughts. So we always encourage our children to speak their mind. We're still working on how to do it in a loving, caring way. So that's just my small example about what we do in our home. The other thing is that we don't allow our children to be disrespectful with each other. It can easily happen when you're home, right? And you're in your comfort level and the kids are just horsing around and joking. But when we recognize that somebody's feelings are getting hurt, it's hugely important that we take that as a cue to have a discussion. So we want to teach our children to respect each other. And one example of this is, recently one of our kids was sharing a story with us and someone else chimed in and interrupted the conversation because there was something that they wanted to share. So I had to say, hold on, hold that thought. Let's come back to what you're sharing. Your brother is sharing something. So let's hear let's let him finish his story. So then I took it as my job to bring my other child back in and say, okay, we're ready. Come on over and share with us what you wanted to tell us. So all that is extremely important in validating both of the children, all of the children. I also think it's extremely important that while our kids are maturing and growing, that we teach them how to have these discussions. And we also tell them it's going to be very valuable one day when you're big enough to find a job and you're working with others outside of the house. So we teach them, take these principles that you're learning about relating with each other outside of the house. Think about these things when you're in the community, when you're at school events or when we're at church events. Take this out there and practice it. Respect each other. So the last point I want to bring up is teaching our children how to validate each other and support each other. So we have two kiddos that are awesome in sports. They do their thing when they're on the basketball court, on the track field. And it's easy to go out and cheer our children on when they're doing something publicly where the community can be involved. But our other two kids are not into sports so much. One of them is into art and photography, and our other son is into technology and videos and can watch all kinds of topics that are very interesting to him, and sometimes he wants to share these with us. And it's not that easy to go and watch what they're interested in, right? So what we do is we invite our children to support each other in whatever they have going on. So, hey, Emily, did you see the video or the pictures that Elvie took? And come take a look at these. Or, hey, Ethan, did you know that Mitri is going to be in a robotics competition this coming weekend? Things like that, so that they can really support each other and root each other on. So validating and encouraging each other and being involved, especially when there are activities that don't really involve a community effort or where other people are coming in to root them on, is very important to be a cheerleader for them and support not only us as their parents, but encourage them to support each other. So those are my thoughts on how to incorporate teaching at home our children so that when they grow up, they learn to be respectable individuals and know how to treat each other, validate each other, and be vocal in their own right about their thoughts and feelings on any subject matter. It starts in the home. So again, my name is Princella Stringer, career and empowerment coach for the single mom. I'm a big believer in how relationship issues in the workplace and single parenting issues hugely affect the single mom. So if you would like to jump on a call with me, it's a free call where we can address some issues that you're having as a single mom and balancing how to get ahead in the workplace. That is what I do. So leave me a comment or send me a message and we can chat. Have a great night and enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.